I feel like we all struggle because we're trying to do so many things all at once. So then you're not really able to put your full energy to actually bring it into fruition.
Just call my name.
I'm still at that table. We are still at that table. Trust. A lot of people come to me, I want to be, I want to create content. And then they have a long list of whys of why they can't. So then you're not really asking a question. You're already just coming and immediately canceling yourself as to why you can't do it. The God isn't going to come down directly and help you. He's going to help you through people. He's going to help you through mediums and ways, and therapy is one of those ways that he helps you. So, what do you do? Because I don't see you coming here often. I was like, I'm a content creator. She's like, what's that? You wear clothes. So then...
What does building confidence mean for you, and how do people build confidence?
Honestly, I feel like confidence, some people have higher levels of it, but it's definitely a muscle that you can build. And you build it by taking risk and doing things that bring you out of your comfort zone.
Hey beautiful people, and you're welcome back to another episode of the show Unshelved Dreams. My name is Rennie, and today I have with me in the studio the amazing Temithesage. However, her name is Temitope Oladipupo, right? And she is a DC-based fashion influencer, an amazing one at that. And she is also a registered nurse. Yes. She is literally she's bringing two things from different parts of the world. I mean, who knew that a nurse could actually have a thriving career in the fashion space, and she's influencing. And also to add to that, she is also building a community of amazing women to build their confidence in beauty, in their careers, and different things that they hope to do and achieve in their life. So welcome with me with so much drum roll, the beautiful, the energetic, the amazing, and hyper, uber successful, beautiful Temithesage.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that glowing introduction. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm Temithesage on all platforms.
Absolutely. Yes. I love that name.
Thank you.
Because when I think about the sage, I think about those wise men that came to greet Jesus when they had Jesus, and they're like, we brought him presents and all that. So how did you get to the name like Tammy? You could be Tammy the entertainer, or Tammy the prophet or something. How did you come to Temithesage?
So it's actually a funny story. So I'm very big in self-development. I love personality quizzes and things like that. Yeah. And I went a couple of years ago, I went into this rabbit hole of feminine archetypes. Okay. So they're different feminine archetypes based on your personality and how you present. There's the queen, the mother, things like that. And one of them is the sage. And what that is essentially is a woman who gives counsel to people. And it's kind of a confident. And just is a wise person, a confident, loves to give counsel, advice. Think of Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton, the strong woman that's not just, in the shadow of a man, but actually even more the brains behind the operation. Yeah. And so that was my archetype. So that's where Temithesage came from.
Oh, wow.
So, yes.
I love that. All right. I need to find me one. I mean, right now I am running billions because I love money and I hate poverty with every fiber in my bone. Right. I know you don't have to have $1 million or anything like that, but you need to keep striving to, make money. And Temithesage, I love the fact that, you bring to the fact that you were able to go down and see, okay, what is my archetype, for an example? A lot of people don't know that, and they're just living other people's lives. Right. So what led you on that journey to start studying the female archetypes, and how did you get to that space?
Well, I just love anything knowledge based. I love reading. I love discoveries and research and things like that. And all things women, anything that empowers women and helps us just come into our own. Because sometimes based on like your personality, you think it's like a weak strength. Like some people are more gentle and more calming, and they're like, oh wow, I wish I was more energetic. But no, you don't know that gentleness is really your strength, because when people come around you, they feel safe. You have like a nurturing spirit. So when you understand like your strengths, you won't compare yourself to other people. You have confidence in who you are. So I feel like it's very important to really learn about yourself and learn like what makes me unique and what makes me different. That way you're not trying to get rid of the things that are actually, special about you.
Yeah. So thank you for that enlightenment, right? Because it's so good. So I know that you were not always like this, and I don't know if you don't mind. I know you're probably in your late 20s or early 30s.
Hey, I'm mid-20. I'm 26.
What?
But I'm gonna be 27 in January again. Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that because of looks or anything, because you actually look way younger than that, right? You look that, but when you talk, you don't talk like someone who is in their mid-20s. You don't. You make me feel like you, because some people, they have like a very a big mind, right? Like, and that I believe it comes from your years of personal development and just pouring into yourself. So you've not always been like this. Yes. So how did you find your way in the space that you're now you're 26 and you're doing all these beautiful things? You've not always been like this. How did you get to that space?
So I'll say, so I actually grew up in Nigeria. I came here when I was 10. So, in Nigeria, you develop that grit and sense of, you don't want to fail. You don't want to let people down. So that always follows you. A lot of high expectations. Yeah. And being the eldest daughter, there's a lot of expectations there too. But I've always just been a creative person. Like even when I was in Nigeria, I used to make like beads and make necklaces and things like that. When I came here, I used to like DIY like jeans. I would go to the thrift store and, cut things up and things like that. So I've always been into like creativity. I also paint, I draw, anything that's like artistic, I loved. However, I never felt like that was like a viable like career choice or a field that I could do because, lawyer, doctor,
exactly.
IT engineer,
the usual suspects.
Yeah. And anything else is kind of like you're wasting your time. So hence, I'm a nurse, but I just felt like, why am I defining myself based on society's expectations? Like there's so many talents that God bestow upon us. And before we became this capitalistic society, you used to really thrive on the strengths that you have. Yeah. So back in the day, if you were like, in Nigeria, you have yamiologi, they use their strengths, and that's how they made their livelihood. So I feel like that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm using my talents and I'm stepping into that because there's a lot of shame and a lot of fear that you have to like unravel first before you're able to go out there creatively. You get made fun of a lot. People don't take you seriously. When I tell people I do content, even today, one of my coworkers, because I worked last night, I told her, she's like, what do you do? Because I don't see you coming here often. I was like, I'm a content creator. She's like, what's that? You wear clothes. So they never take it seriously. Even my parents like, you have videos. You have videos. They never understand it. But you have to be content with what you're doing. And so I just say, honestly, just trying to step more into myself and step more into what the talents that God has given me is how I'm slowly getting there. It's still a journey at the end of the day, but so it's a walk.
I mean, based on the fact that you're here and the things we see you put out there in the world and what you do consistently, and I mean it when I say consistently, because that is something that a lot of people struggle with. Even I struggle with consistency because it's, you have so many responsibilities. And I know that you recently got married as well, about 2 years now. And that is more responsibilities and all. So how do you stay consistent to keep putting out this, not just any content, quality content? How do you maintain that consistency and that grit and how do you do it?
Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, you have to sacrifice something. So when you're being consistent in one area, there's always an area that's like withering away. So, but I would just say when you have your goals and you have your eyes set on something, it becomes easier to be consistent. So the way I like to be consistent, I actually do 12-week years. So I pick certain things that I focus on every 12-week blocks. And then I really go hard on those things. And then the next 12 weeks, I'll go hard on those things. And then kind of once the things become a habit, it's more easier to sustain. And then it becomes second nature. And then now you can add another layer. So like the content, when I first started, that was what my main focus was. Content, just improving my quality, improving my speed of making the videos, of editing and things like that. So once I got a hang of that, I was able to add on like now the women empowerment stuff. So you have to get good at one thing before you add on.
Jump onto another
I feel like
thing.
we all struggle because we're trying to do so many things all at once. So then you're not really able to put your full energy to actually bring it into fruition.
Just call my name.
I'm still on that table. We are still on that table. Trust
Just
me.
call my name now. Okay, Rennie, I am talking to you. Right. So that is so good. And I'm really learning from this conversation the fact that the 12-week year is so profound. I know about the book, but I am yet to get to reading it because, responsibilities and all those things that are going on. So the 12-week year, how did you get into it? You read the book and started practicing, or tell me about it.
So I think it was it last year or the year before? I did a challenge where I read one book every month for the whole year. And then that was one of the books that I read. And it just really resonated with me. I was like, you know what? Like, this is so great. So I actually decided to try it. And that was when I used that to go really full force with my content.
Yeah.
And literally after trying that, that's when my page blew up. That's when everything happened. So I'm like, hey, if this thing is working, let me keep implementing it. Now, I'll say I don't do it as well as I should be doing it, but it does work. I think it's a great tactic. And even if you don't do 12 weeks, but just really having that, a set amount of goals and reducing the time. Think about it. When you have a deadline and the deadline is approaching, the amount of energy that you get to accomplish it is way more than if you think you have a lot of time. So then when we give ourselves a whole year to accomplish a goal, towards the end of the year, but like November, that's when you're like, oh shoot, I was supposed to do this. Now you're running races to try to get it done. But when you turn your years into 12-week blocks, you get that kind of like, adrenaline within those 12 weeks because you have, a shortened period of time.
To just walk through it.
So I did try it. Give it a try.
And you say you're 26?
Yeah.
You just decide that this one thing, I want to do it and focus all my energy and attention on it for the next 12 weeks.
Yes.
And that is like 1 to, how many months?
3 months.
3 months. Wow.
So
and that is good.
You could pick multiple things. So I think they said you should pick at most 5 things, but nothing more than 5 things. But like 1 or 2 big things.
Yeah, that is so good. That's a tip for you guys. We need to pay Tammy for bringing because it just really makes sense now. And I think I'm really going to find a way to read the book now. Because now that you say, and I know it works, because I remember I saw a post you did one time where you were showing how you were at, was it 90K or 30K? I can't read it, but I know I saw the post. The figures now don't come to me. I'm just asking based on what you said. And I saw how you talked about the growth. So this is as a result of what you did. Wow. That is good. Because a lot of us, we just read books, we move to the next one. We read a book, we move to the next one. So these are the results of what you can get if you read things and you actually take action on them. Right? Because a lot of people, right, they actually take courses, they do all these programs and they don't do anything with it. So that is just so good. So now Temithesage, you're doing well. And I know that you still have like greater things that you're going to do, all these collaborations with Microsoft and all those people. And I really see all those amazing things because, business is energy. When you put in a lot of good energy, it comes back to you.
Amen.
Right. So my question is, there was a time when Temithesage was just something you were thinking about. There was a time when it was just a plan you had. So how did you move from the stage of planning to a stage of this is the dream and this is it right before our eyes?
Honestly, just getting out of your own head. I feel like where we all fail with any plan that we have, first you have the excitement phase where you're excited about the idea. You have all the possibilities of what could happen. And a lot of times we get addicted to that excitement. That's why you see a lot of people, we all do it. You start something, enjoy that excitement, that adrenaline rush of ordering the tools, the supplies, making the logo, a lot of things end at the logo phase. You make the logo, you make the Instagram page, you make a few things on Canva, you really get that excitement.
GoDaddy too.
GoDaddy, whatever. So that excitement, and then once you start to tell people and they're like, maybe this isn't, they bring you like, the doubt and the things start to creep in, and then now you start to think of the things that could go wrong, and then you get stuck. So really just getting out of your head from that initial phase, the excitement, and getting into the crunchiness and the grittiness of it all, and just seeing it through and knowing that whatever you focus your energy into, somehow, some way, is going to happen and it's going to work for you. Exactly. So honestly, just believing that, having faith in, you can't see what's going to happen, but like at least if you put your energy into it, eventually something will happen, and just, keeping the faith. So I say it was a lot of faith, a lot of not caring what other people thought, not caring what other people, would say, and just doing something for me, that I could be proud of. Even if only one person watched it, the fact that I had an idea and I created the video, I put it out there, is a win for me. And just focusing on that versus like the validation of, the attention and things like that. Like, it's really that process, the creative process is what really keeps me going. Yeah. Even when you have low engagement, you have low views, but just when I have an idea and I'm able to make it and put it out, it just makes me so happy.
That's good. I mean, you're there for what it feels like you're walking in your purpose, essentially, which is what this show is about, Unshelving Your Dreams, right? A lot of people, I'll do it later. I'm just going to get to it. Yeah. Do you ever procrastinate?
I procrastinate a lot. And I've actually, throughout this creative process, I've found out a few things about myself, and one of them is like fear-based procrastination, and it actually comes from being a perfectionist, because like during school, like I used to always carry first, and in nursing school I was really good, so a lot of things like just came second nature to me, and it was easy. But then now when you're going into entrepreneurism, you're going into something where it's not as like steps, I do this and I get this result. A lot of fear starts to creep in, and then I start to procrastinate. So I've been trying to do therapy to like unravel some of that perfectionism that's causing me to procrastinate. I get a lot of like email anxiety when it comes to like replying to emails to brands and things like that. It's a lot of like procrastination, putting it off, a lot of anxiety and fear. So yes, it's definitely a work in progress. But I do procrastinate, but when I do get it done, it's done well.
Yeah, that is good. That is so good. Yeah, so you talk about going to therapy to work on the fear-based procrastination. Right. So I am Nigerian.
That's a
I know
statement.
I would feel about therapy. People are like, a therapy? My dear, go and pray. My dear, you've not prayed enough. Go and read the word of God, right? Which is good. That is true. Or they tell you that, it's because you have money. People say all those things. I didn't even know you do therapy for things like that. So how has your journey in therapy, how has it kind of like helped you, and what do you have to say to people who just feel like, you're going to therapy because you have money?
Well, I say to them, they need to try it, honestly, because God, you say pray, but God isn't going to come down directly and help you. He's going to help you through people. He's going to help you through mediums and ways, and therapy is one of those ways that he helps you. Through unraveling things that you didn't even know. And therapy isn't really them fixing you. It's you, because we all hold the power to improve ourselves. We hold the power, our bodies hold the power to heal itself. Our minds hold the power to improve ourselves, but you just have to realize it. And therapy just helps you kind of process your own thoughts and see patterns, and it just asks you questions. So I think the misconception is that therapy is like a cure. It's really not a cure. It's just it's a medium. It's a healthy way for you to get out your because when if you go to talk to a friend, you go to talk to your parents, they'll start to project their own feelings on you. Before you know it, from A to B, what you came to say, you didn't even say it. So therapy is just a healthy way for you to get your thoughts out there, process them so that you can begin healing, and they give you the tools to do that. So don't knock therapy. Our mind, just like any organ in our body can get sick, our mind can have issues as well. And therapy, psychotherapy, that's one of the ways to heal it.
Yeah. So how do you find like a good therapist? Like, how do you know this person works for me?
Sometimes you have to do a lot of trial and error. BetterHelp is a good place. Yeah. And also, like when I Google search up Black therapies for Black women, because not all therapists are made the same. Everybody comes with their own biases. So just doing your research, reviews, recommendations. The one I'm going to was recommended to me from a friend. So just doing your research. And you don't have to do it forever. You could do a few sessions, get what you need out of it. And if you don't want to do therapy, the self-help books help me a lot too. And I've learned a lot from them. So I say reading.
Right. So what I hear you say is just find your person, do your research, and don't knock therapy, and have the right expectations. Because a lot of people, they go for the cure, like you said, but it's just like a medium to take you through, walk you through, have all those difficult conversations with yourself, which is really good. So now that we're talking about therapy, because I didn't even know where this is coming from. But
sorry, I'm carried you on a tangent.
No, it's okay. I love it. I love it so much. It's okay. It's good. So it's like, have you been through any kind of like things in life that's, left a kind of like mark on you, that's made you feel like, okay, maybe something is not working for you? Have you been through anything that really makes you feel like you need help? I don't know if that's the right way to frame the question.
We all need help, trust me, especially us Nigerians. The amount of generational trauma that's put upon us, especially as eldest daughters like me, growing up and coming here, and you have family back home you have to take care of. There's a lot of things that affect us that you wouldn't even know affected you growing up, things like that. Colorism, things like that. A lot of things affect somebody. So I want to say, one of the things, my little brother passed away when I was in Nigeria from family problems, and he drank kerosene and he died. So that was definitely a traumatic event that I've worked through. And that's one of the reasons why I went into nursing. Because eventually one of my long-term goals is to go back and help improve the healthcare system, hopefully.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, we all have things, whether it's micro traumas or big traumatic events that affect us.
Yeah, and we just can be forming art guide through life. We need to get help. And that just kind of like struck a chord in me. Just I can't even imagine what that must have felt like, and even knowing the course. Right. So you talked about that is part of the reason why you went into nursing, so you can go back and do something. So would you say was that as a result of, okay, fine, he drank kerosene, and is it that he didn't get like the right kind of help he could have gotten?
Yeah, he didn't get the right kind of help. It was kind of like, when you drink kerosene, they pour like palm oil down your throat to soak it up. So I think he actually, now with the medical knowledge I have, I think he aspirated on the things they poured down his throat versus the actual kerosene that he drank. So it's just a lack of knowledge. So if I do go back in the grand scheme of things, it's more so to like help equip family and people in the communities with knowledge, little knowledge on poison control, drowning, things that you could do, CPR that you could save yourself versus going to a hospital. Because in Nigeria too, it's not like here where you have EMTALA. If you go to a hospital, even if you don't have money here, they will still treat you, and then you worry about the money later. But in Nigeria, if you come, you don't have money, or they'll see your injury, they'll say, we can't treat you. You're carrying the person from hospital to hospital. A lot of people die in that transition of trying to find a place to take them, things like that. So it's very unfortunate. Wow. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a very emotional person. I just have like a lump in my chest right now.
That's okay. Let's go back to fashion.
Holding it back. So yeah, but I mean, it's okay. It's really okay, and I'm glad you've been able to, build a beautiful life, even with all those ashes that come with life. People will see you on social media looking so happy, looking so beautiful. You guys need to see it. Go on Temithesage. She's at Temithesage on Instagram. So beautiful and gorgeous, smiling all the time. And you wouldn't know that people actually go through certain things. And that comes back to just making sure that even when you're leaving comments for people, be kind. If you don't have anything good to say, I think you should just keep quiet, right? Yeah. Don't just do a lot of, mouth diarrhea on social media just because, I feel bad when I really see people just come. I'll read some comments and I'm like, oh, is this human being that But you just come online and you just type some things about people. Even when you want to correct people, right? I think there's still a way to do it. You don't have to go the insult route and all. So now that you're a social media content creator, so you're always out there, right? Do you ever get all those negative feedbacks, negative comments, and how do you react to them?
Oh yeah, you get a lot of negative comments. Negative comments. I block people.
I love that.
I block people.
I block you.
Yes, immediate block. I try not to address most things, but some things hit a nerve that you have to just abuse them small, and then I block them.
Exactly. Is the abuse them so for me?
I'm telling you.
Wow.
But I was just talking to my husband the other day. I was like, there's two types of people. There's some people when things are going on in their lives, they're more introspective. They look within like, oh, what did I do wrong? How can I improve? And then there's another type of people where it's all about this person did this and it's their environment, it's other people and it's lashing out at other people. So I feel like it's just different ways people cope with whatever is going on in their lives. Some people choose to improve while some people choose to drag people down to where they are. So, but yeah, so block. I don't care who you are. You're blocked. I don't care. And if you do too much, I abuse you. Sometimes I'll post it on my story and let other people, read it because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Like,
I think people forget that, it's a human that's creating this content. That's behind that.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's very wild.
I think it's a kind of mental illness if you can actually correct, honestly, because mental illness is not like, in Nigeria, when we say mental illness, we're thinking about madness, you're running on the street. Mental illness in the sense that you can actually, it means for you to come online and just type something really vile about, so it means you're very sad.
Yeah.
There's something in you that needs healing, and I hope and pray that people that do that get it. Yeah, so tell me, I hear all you've been saying, and I love how you say you block people. It's like my mental health before anything.
Absolutely.
So it's so good to watch yourself and make sure that you're good first, and you don't let anything, all those people throwing stones, just get to you, right? Which is good. So I want to ask this question. I don't know how you're going to feel about it, but this show is called Unshelved Dreams, right? So will you say, I know you still have your career in nursing, right? And you have your fashion content. Will you say you're living your dream life right now?
I wouldn't say I'm living my dream life now because my dream life is a dream. It's a big life, but I'll say I'm on the way there, and I'm content. As long as I keep improving and working towards my goals and making sure I'm okay. Hey, that's the dream life. It's a lot of work. I won't lie. It's a lot of work balancing both, and but hey, I'm just going in the direction that God calls me, and I'm working hard towards it.
Yeah.
I can't tell what the future is going to hold, but I know it's going to be good things because
absolutely. Yeah.
God has good plans for us, and he's ordaining our steps, and he goes before you and he sets the way. So I'm just following in the steps.
Just take me to church. Yeah. So I hear you talk about your faith a lot, about God, and we've been doing that all day. I do that all the time. I don't think I can actually do a lot of sentences without saying God. It's just a problem for me. I can't do it. So how has your faith and your faith in God been like a part of your journey? How has it propelled you forward in, chasing after the things that your heart really desires?
So actually, the funny thing is, when I was in Nigeria, I actually grew up Muslim.
Oh, okay.
And I converted to Christian when I came here. So my mom is Christian, my dad is Muslim, and they're separated. So when I came here to live, when I was in Nigeria, I was Muslim. Then my mom became a Christian. We started going to church. Then when I came here to live with my dad, I became Muslim again. So there's a lot of like religious
back and forth.
A lot of religion. I call it religious confusion to where I kind of like removed myself actually from like the religious space, and I got more into like the woo-woo stuff and
yeah.
But at the end of the day, I went back to church, and literally when I went back, the first service I went to, I was like crying. And I just felt like there was like a weight lifted off. Because one, when you're trying to, the woo-woo stuff, you're trying to figure it out on your own. Everything on your own. It's very heavy. But with Christianity, with God, you're able to put the burden on God, and you're able to just live lighter. No matter what you're going through, God got you. So it's so much more of like a lighter living. So I've been trying to improve in my faith. I wouldn't say I'm the most religious person.
It's
and I don't believe in like religiously like blackmailing people. And because some people take it too far and they start to think that they know everything and they know what's best for somebody. Just because you think someone is not living righteously doesn't mean God's favor is not upon them. Yep, we're all children of God. Even people in jail, criminals, murderers, they're all children of God. So you have to be careful how you look at other people, how you project onto other people. So I've never wanted to be that kind of Christian. Yeah. The kind of Christian that I'm working to be and aspiring to be is just someone that helps other people realize their full potential and helps other people understand that, with faith and with God, all things are possible. So I'm working on doing that. I've been reading the Bible, doing my own studying, and I go to Union Church.
Oh, I do too.
Really?
Wow. Which one?
I go to the one in Columbia.
Oh, I go to BWI.
Yeah. So I love Union Church. I love the pastor. I love the people. That's my type of place. So I feel like once I found a church home that I actually love, not this judgmental African churches. As soon as you go in there, the eyes they give you, it's like you come for God. It's something else you're leaving with. So I feel like honestly, like discovering God for yourself and finding a place that you feel at home is key. And to doing the work for yourself, because at the end of the day, the Bible is available for you to read as well and for you to interpret. Don't just rely on other people's interpretation of it. Exactly. There's sometimes I'll open up the Bible to a passage where whatever I've been dealing with, my answer is right in there. So it's very important to do your own religious discovery and also find a church home that you love.
That is good. Wow. And about the old being judgmental, I get it. I understand you. Right. Especially, okay, I don't want to go into much about it because I don't want to offend people, but I really understand what you're saying. And it's so funny that we actually attend the same church.
I see. Yeah,
like Union Church is growing exponentially and it's amazing. It's so beautiful to see. Shout out Pastor Stephen Chandler if you ever get to see this.
I love it.
So it's such a beautiful church, and what you said about going to a church where they actually teach you the word.
Yes.
I think that is so important. And that has been a really huge part of my faith in developing and just being a better person day in, day out. Because I know it's a journey. It's not the destination. Yes. You keep growing. I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. Nobody is better than anybody. Yep. We're just all walking through life by the grace of God. Right. So it's so good when I see fine girls that love Jesus.
So there's plenty of us.
He sang the song for us, right? Yeah, because you said you talked about the woo-woo stuff. I'm going to pretend like I know what is woo-woo stuff anyway.
Just more so like spiritual, which I'm still spiritual. I still believe in some things, but just heavily universe and things
creator
like that.
And all those universe people. Okay. My dear, I don't say, who created the universe? How will you call the creator of the universe and you see something happening and you're saying is the thing created that is... Look. You guys, stop confusing yourselves. Just go and learn. If any of you seek knowledge, right, let him ask. Right. So, I'm going to move on to the next question, which is about the women empowerment event you did with Musu. Shout out Musu. Right. I was at the event because I really wanted to go. I'm like, okay, I'm going to volunteer at this event. And all. So I came and I really love what you guys put together and what you were able to achieve. And so what was the inspiration behind that? Why did you do that? What does it mean to you? What does it mean for you?
Yeah, so actually, Muslim reached out to me and she was like, I really want to do something because she's very big on like bringing people together, community work and things like that. And we're like, you know what? Yeah, let's bring people together somewhere where you can, have a panel, have a good time, learn from other people. Honestly, it was very scary because neither of us has ever done anything like that. So it was a lot of groundwork, putting your own money, your own resources into it because people don't believe in things that they can't see yet.
Yeah.
So you have to hold that belief. But honestly, I'm so happy how everything came together, all the people that came out. a lot of people met from there, became friends from the event, even though we had some hiccups with the food, the restaurant. But honestly, the greater message is, bigger than, like just.
Absolutely. And, you don't start great.
Yes.
You keep going to get great. So I don't know what you're saying, but I think it was a beautiful event. And I had a good time, even volunteering. And I just saw the energy and I love the energy. And it's good. And honestly, I don't know. I just can't get my eyes off your earrings.
Thank you. You're from Koi.
I just can't get my eyes off of them. So when you see all those beautiful pieces and how do you just decide this is gonna go well with this? Is that something that is that something that has always been a part of you?
I would say yes, it just comes naturally. I feel like I have very unique taste and bold some things I wear and things I do. A lot of people won't necessarily wear it, but fashion for me is just a way to show up more boldly in the world. I don't want to diminish myself. Sometimes we wear things to hide, but the kind of fashion that I promote is stuff that will make you shine, make heads turn. People be like, "Oh, who's that? What's that?" And kind of puts you on the spot. Yeah. Puts you on the spot. That way you can step out of yourself and step out of your insecurities. So that's why I love bold statement pieces. I love bold colors that still look good, emphasizes because a lot of people can't wear color. We have melanin. We can wear so much color. We can do so much. And why try to be wearing black, gray like these white people? You have the ability to wear beautiful colors. Yeah. Do it, honey. Do it, So... fashion for me is really just self-expression of myself and just, promoting confidence through style and just going for things, taking risks.
Yeah, right. We take risk every day. I don't know why people get scared of taking risk. Sitting in this building is a risk.
It is.
Anything can come down. God forbid. Yep. So, I remember that one of the core message at the event was about confidence and building confidence. And I know a lot of people, they just go about the world, with their headbands. They're always afraid to even speak up at events. They say, "Oh, what's a question?" And they're like, "Let me see who's going to ask." They don't want to ask the question. So what does building confidence mean for you, and how do people build confidence? And being a fashion person, you come out and you just wear all those pieces and you come and you show up like you mean it, right? You don't just come and you're like, "Oh, I hope they like me." Right. So how do you go into a room and you're like, "Well, if you don't like me, then you have a problem." How do you do that?
Yes. Honestly, I feel like confidence, some people have higher levels of it, but it's definitely a muscle that you can build. And you build it by taking risk and doing things that bring you out of your comfort zone. That way, next time you go even bigger and you just keep, and then you reassure yourself "Oh, I went out, I did this today, I didn't die. People actually like this." So then when you go out the next time, you have a little bit more confidence to do so. So I'll say with anyone that's struggling with confidence, really practice rejection therapy and just being seen therapy. Wear your most outlandish outfit and go to the grocery store. You're gonna feel so crazy, but it's gonna build your confidence for other things that and confidence in one area, you could kind of carry that into other areas of your life. So that's why I love confidence through fashion, because if you're able to go wearing crazy colors and sculptural pieces, you're able to now take that confidence and go into your workplace and ask for more pay and speak up more and things like that. So if you find the area that you're able to exercise those risks and going, even if it's with this, you're doing your podcast, if you know, I could do a podcast, that means I can do other things, you could take it around with you. So practice rejection therapy and don't be afraid to be seen.
Yeah, that's good. And what I think I can put together from what I'm hearing you say is confidence is action. Right?
Yes.
Confidence is action. If you don't do it, you don't know. Confidence is not something you think about building. It's not something you read on how to build. You build it by the things you do day in, day out, the little actions you take, right? Am I right?
That's it right there. Quote that, frame that.
Yeah. Right. So I'm going to ask you these. What is the thing that you love the most about your life right now?
There's a lot of things I love, I guess. Being alive, being healthy. Honestly, just being able to have opportunity. opportunity to do these things, to do fashion. A lot of people don't have the opportunity. You're in survival mode. You have to pay your bills. You have to eat, and that's it. There's no room for creativity. There's no room for chasing dreams and all these things. So I'll say the number one thing I'm grateful for is just the opportunity, having the opportunity to go after my dreams and to, be ambitious, to travel and to do things that I want to do. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity. One of that is being in this country. Yeah. It's not easy for people back home, There's so much talent and so much creativity that never comes to the limelight because you're focused on level one, eating and surviving and shelter. So just being able to have the opportunity in itself is such a blessing that we take for granted. Yeah. So I'll say that's the number one thing that I'm grateful for. Yeah.
That is so good. Yeah. And I love that. And what you just said right now, it just really takes me back to your name, Temithesage. You're a really wise person because it takes me even back to the story of Solomon in the Bible when God was like, ask me anything and I'll do it. And he was like, you've made me this person. Give me the wisdom to do this thing. And it says, the fact that you're asking for wisdom, that is so profound because he could have said, give me more money so I can bully more people. Right. Right. But the fact that you say that being alive, I could have said, I'm grateful for my career. A lot of people, that does not mean one answer is right or wrong, but I just really love the angle that you brought it from. So thank you for the reminder to just be grateful every day because being able to just take this breath, being able to get up, walk, man, person will never chop no they follow dream.
Natural.
Yeah, true. Because it's like, what dreams are you talking? You said the dream I dreamt last night. I dreamt that I was hungry, bro. Yeah. So it's such a good thing to just even be able to, even for me, being able to do this. So God, Sky Daddy, thank you.
That's Sky Daddy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I see that from a couple of my friends really post that. Like Sky Daddy. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
So yeah, that is so good, and I've been really enjoying this conversation with you, and I just really want to ask. I know you whenever you talk about something, anybody talks, it means it's in your mind. I see you talk about Africa and so many talents, and also the other time when you were talking about the nursing, why you got into nursing, is like you said, okay, if I eventually go back, right? So I love to hear when, mostly, right?
Honestly,
but up to you. Yeah.
I don't know if I would ever go back per se completely, but I will try. There's a lot of stuff here that we are right now, and it's our duty to help the people in our vicinity first and that's where the country gets it wrong. They're in other countries trying to give them money while people here are suffering, can't eat, can't pay their, you got student loans up to here. So I feel like taking care of people in your immediate community first before you extend your resources. So once I'm able to do that, then whatever's extra, then we go
one step at a time.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah. I see how you got into the influencing thing. You talked about the 12-week year and how it really helped you to just push, So somebody out there is looking to do what you do, right? Maybe they still have their 9 to 5 they are not really happy about, which of course you should try to just enjoy it while you work on something else, right? Is how do they just decide that, okay, I'm going to do this thing. What are like the steps that you feel they can take to actually start doing those things gradually while they are still maybe, because I know you still do your 9 to 5. How do they merge that? How do they put that together?
Yeah, so I'll say first, have your intention, and be serious about it. A lot of people come to me, I want to I want to create content. And then they have a long list of whys of why they can't. So then you're not really asking a question. You're already just coming and immediately canceling yourself as to why you can't do it. So number one, believe in yourself. Believe that you can. Look to other people and where they started. I like to go to other people's, other creators that I look up to, like Jackie Aina. You know, she was working at Mac. She didn't have any money. Her first beauty conference, she said she just hoped and prayed and she swiped her card to be able to go. So I looked to those people's stories. They literally started from zero. Everybody started from zero, so you can do it too. So believe in yourself, believe that you can, and then set your intention. Let people around you know, because you're going to have to set boundaries. You're going to have to sacrifice and give up time to be able to, even if it's not content, whatever it is you want to do, you're going to have to give up time. You're going to have to give up resources. And then just work hard towards it, and don't get lost once you lose that excitement phase where everybody supports you and everybody congratulates you. The real work comes after that.
Yeah.
What do you do when all the validation, when all the attention, when all the excitement fades? That's the work, and that's what's actually going to get you to where you need to be. Yeah. And don't compare yourself to other people, because like for me, things kind of took off faster than a lot of people have been doing this for 10 years. They don't have the same amount of audience. That doesn't mean that their worth is less than mine. That doesn't mean that their platform is less valuable. But I feel like sometimes you look to other people and you think that your worth is less. No, like you're all doing the same thing. You're impacting people the same way somebody else is. So even if you have 500 followers, you treat those 500 followers like they're amazing. You pour into them, you nourish them, because if you can't nurture 500 people, how are you going to nurture 200,000 people? You're 5,000 million. You're not. So we keep chasing better while we're neglecting what we have currently. So take care of what you have first, and then God will actually bless you with more.
Yeah, being a good steward, basically, right? Take care of everything you got right now.
Yes. And keep learning, keep improving. Exactly. Like when I look back on my content, I could see the growth of like how things have progressed. A lot of people, they just keep complaining and they never actually try to improve. So you have to always, keep improving, keep learning, keep researching and implementing.
Yeah. And I also know you wrote a book recently, your ebook.
I did, my ebook.
On how to actually grow your Instagram and all. Yeah. And that was so good, because I'm sure you've been getting a lot of questions on that. And you guys, if you're looking to grow your Instagram, definitely go find Tammy on Instagram and follow her and purchase this piece of content, because it's really good. Because a friend of mine got it, and I went through briefly, and it was so, because then I was not really looking to, I just like to buy when I'm ready to execute, right? Because I just end up buying and it's just there,
it's just there. Okay. Yes, thanks for the plug for the ebook. Everything is in there, all the tips. And you can also, you don't want to buy, it's okay. Send me a message. I'm always happy to help people. If it's too much though, buy the ebook.
Yeah, exactly. That's because you've really been able to gather a whole body of knowledge, and that is just a good way to just let people know that it's right there, right? So if you're looking to really grow on Instagram, I suggest you definitely go get that book. And also, I know that I see your content on social media about you, and shout out Mr. Wale, your wonderful husband. And I've seen the way he supports you, the way you guys actually even go out for each other, support each other. I see all the content, because now if you really want to know anything about a person, just go on their social media, right? And I mean, I've seen you guys even off social media, and I know that this is real. It's not just people just out there faking it, right? So now that how has that really impacted your career? How has it really been together with a person who you now have like a huge support system in? How has that been an influence on what you're doing currently?
Yeah, so he's actually the one that pushed me into doing all of this. I was literally, he got me a course. It's like, oh, you should do influencer marketing. And I was actually so pissed. I'm like, what do you mean? Is nursing not good enough? Like that was before I actually, but he always sees things before, I actually do them. So I'm very grateful for him. And his knowledge, his technical, I would definitely not be, the high quality content as I am now without him. Cause I have a resource right there. So I feel like all of it aligns. He's very supportive and he understands. I feel like sometimes some partners don't understand social media. They don't understand the benefits and how it could be a career. So you're kind of like butting heads. Yeah. And then they're like, why are you posting? You're always recording. So I'm so grateful to have a partner that understands that. And he's an influencer. He's a content creator himself. So he gets it. So we could kind of just work together. So it's very seamless. I'm very grateful to have him. I feel like it's God. The stars are aligned. And it just works together.
God, let me just bless this girl. Let me make her life easy, right?
I'm blessed.
Right. So I know there are definitely some ladies who are beautiful as well, and they're just really like, when am I gonna find this kind of supportive husband? And so what did you do, or how did you guys meet? So what is your advice for people like that? Like,
I'll say focus on yourself first. Focus on yourself, period. Like the best men come to you when you're not looking for them, when you're not interested in them, when you're glowing, when you're doing well, that's when they'll come. The minute you start to center men in your life, that's when, even like in your marriage and your relationships, I try as much as possible to decenter my husband. Like I won't call him. I'll go on my own solo dates. I'll do, because you have to let people miss you. Allow people to miss you. Allow people to, see you shining and doing your thing. You never want to be in the shadow of somebody. And I feel like that actually makes the relationship sweeter. And that's what attracts men more. So focus on yourself, glow up, wear your outfits, look good, take yourself out. And trust me, that's when the men will be coming like flies. And then you can pick and choose. And have fun in the dating process. Don't put too much emphasis on your list and things that you want. Actually, like, observe these men and vet them out. Don't think every man that comes to you is your husband. Really observe them and vet them out. Like, you're the prize. The key is in your hands. So really take your time. And if someone is not for you, don't go for them.
Don't waste your time there. Right. That is good. And don't, have those desperate mindsets don't just enjoy.
And I believe it's Cheryl 7, sprinkle, sprinkle, get in there. They're going to cancel me. But a lot of the things that she says is just really glowing up, focusing yourself. Like that's really the key.
Yeah, that is so good. Right. So I know you're really focused on growing right now and just getting better as a person. So are there like specific projects, things that you're looking to work on, very soon?
So I'm going to be attending New York Fashion Week for the first time.
That is so exciting.
Super excited.
Wow.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
I'm
also going, I think, next weekend for the Sip and Slay conference too. So right now in this season, I really just want to improve my craft, network with other people, and try to get on the radar of bigger brands. And I need this money to be coming and
it's gonna come, right?
That's the key. Once that phase is kind of over, really doing more events, more like intimate ones, helping people actually, because when you talk about the mindset, things like that, but I feel like people need actual physical help, like demonstrations, the angles, how to record. So I might do like a creator workshop. So I think that'd be a good idea. Focusing on my YouTube channel a lot more too.
Exactly.
I want to do more vlogs. Just keep working. It's a long journey. It's not a short ride. I'm in it for the long haul. So
exactly. So no rush. And you're gonna enjoy it as you go. Not be. There's something that happens when you're pursuing your dreams and you're just really frustrated. You're like now. It's gonna happen. Take the pressure off of yourself and just enjoy the journey. Basically, right? Yeah. So it's been such a beautiful, enlightening conversation with you. Thank you. I just really like to end the conversation with, we actually talked about a whole lot of things, right?
We did.
Yeah, and it was so good. Right. Thank you so much for just being really open and sharing. Thank you. So I like to finish with a quote, and I just give you a quote and you just tell me how it resonates with you, and what, if you feel you want to even use it as a point of advice for somebody out there, just feel free to just share. So the quote for Temithesage, because you're so full of wisdom, is this. Tada! Please, can you give me a drum roll? Yeah. It's a quote by Peter Drucker, and he says, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Yeah. So how does that resonate with you?
It resonates a lot. I feel like it sums up the whole fact that anything you want is really just about action and faith. You hold the power. I always say that you are a creator. God gave us dominion on this earth.
Exactly. Yeah.
We can create things. We've created so many beautiful things, and you have that power too. Just the same way Elon Musk created Tesla, you can create your own thing too. So believe in yourself and know that you have the power to create your dream life, and you're deserving of it and you're worthy of it. At any time, if something isn't going the way you want to, you can redirect your course and you can go after something else, and never feel guilty or ashamed to literally just rebrand and restart your life at any time.
Pick it up.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that
Thank
was
you
so
for
beautiful.
having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you so much,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments if you really enjoyed this conversation. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel as well. And also, don't forget to go follow Temi. Honestly, if you don't know how to dress well, just go there. If you don't know how to put together all those cute colors, and just go follow her, and I'm sure you're gonna really learn a lot. And I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.